Early training. Narasimha Sastry, Satyanarayana's father, liked to conduct the Satyanarayana vratam whenever he had an opportunity. The main reason that he selected the name Satyanarayana for his son was that he had a very special liking for it. Generally, people shorten a name for convenience. The villagers in Bommeparthi began to call Satyanarayana as Satyam or Sattiga. This made Shastri very angry. Satyanarayana's mother Jayalakshmi would try to calm her husband down. One day she asked him,
"How does it matter really by what name they call our baby?"
"It is a divine name and it is very sacred,"
he told her.
"What is so special about it?"
she inquired.
"Have you noticed that whenever you go to any holy person, he usually says Narayana? Sage Narada is very fond of this name. Whether they put the vibhuti across their foreheads or whether they put the vertical mark, both Shaivas and Vaishnavas say Narayana. Narada says the word Narayana whether he goes to Vaikunta or to Kailasa, either the abode of Vishnu or the abode of Lord Shiva. Do you know, the word Narayana that I am referring to does not refer to Vishnu with 4 hands holding the conch, discus, mace and lotus. The Advaita philosophers wouldn't be chanting the name Narayana if it were to refer to the Lord Vishnu that I just described. Narada would not be using the word when he visits Kailasa. The word Narayana can be split into Nara and Ayana. Nara has a number of meanings given in the Sanskrit dictionary. The most appropriate meaning is Jnana. Ayana means the ultimate goal. Every soul on this earth has some knowledge. Each individual knows different things at different times. Where do you think all this knowledge comes from? And where do you think it all ends? There is one knowledge that remains constant and is imperishable. The Sanskrit word for it is Akhanda Jnana. It's also known as Chaitanya. It is the truth. All other types of knowledge that are perishable have their origin in this Chaitanya. The different types of knowledge that are known as Srishti, Sthiti and Pralaya and whose forms respectively are that of Brahma, Vishnu and Shiva also originate from this Chaitanya. The tiny little piece of knowledge that is known as Sankalpa arises from this Chaitanya. It exhibits itself as the various karmas or actions that we perform on this earth. The entire creation, the 7 lokas below and the 7 lokas above the earth are jumping up and down from inside this Chaitanya. They jump out like sparks from a fire. Where do you think they all end up finally? They dissolve into this Akhanda Jnana. The final refuge for all types of knowledge is this Akhanda Jnana, and another word for this is Narayana. Great yogis meditate on this Narayana in their Samadhi state. Great Nadopasakas following the path of Pranava travel to this destination. In the name of Tattva Vichara, the Vedantins are searching for this Narayana. It is possible for someone to misrepresent the word Narayana and point it to Lord Vishnu, a manifest form. But the two are entirely different. To avoid this confusion, the word Satya is prefixed to Narayana and called Satyanarayana. That is the name that I have given to my son. Just repeating this name without even knowing its true meaning bestows punya on the person. It purifies one of his sins. It does not matter even if the name is repeated in arguments and fights. But if one splits the word and calls the boy Satya or Sattiga, they lose the benefit. I would therefore like everyone to call our son by his full name, and I would get annoyed with those who distort the name.
He explained, when Shastri is in a good mood, he can explain beautifully the secrets contained in the Vedanta. Jayalakshmi knew how to draw out all this information from him. With a deliberate effort, the couple managed to get the villagers eventually to call their son by his full name. Baby Satyanarayana came to Bommeparthi from Mekedatu when he was only 5 months old. Grandmother Savitramma accompanied her daughter and grandson. She stayed in Bommeparthi for a few days. Parvatamma, the sister of Jayalakshmi, accompanied her mother to Bommeparthi. The baby had learned to recognize the faces and give lovely smiles. He was able to occupy himself for a while with the toys tied to the swing. When he started to move forward, he would go in search of toys. If he managed to get them, he would smile, and if not, he would scream till someone came to give him what he wanted. He also knew how to cry and get his mother to sing melodious lullabies for him. Savitramma enjoyed playing with her grandson.
This baby is good as gold when he is playing happily, but he is capable of bringing the roof down when he is unhappy, just like his father,
she used to say when Shastri was out of sight. The baby's smile when he was half asleep was exceptionally beautiful, and the grandmother would wait patiently near the crib to just see his smile. Satyanarayana's smile would shower rays of moonlight into the room. He would wake up from sleep and would call out to get the attention of the adults. If no one responded, he would definitely show his temper. Shastri enjoyed playing with his son. At Bommeparthi, the women had to go to the well near the temple to draw water and bring it home in pots for use. One day, Savitramma was bringing water in a pot from the well and was walking along with a friend. Saying goodbye to the friend at the door, she walked briskly inside. Satyanarayana, who was sleeping in the crib, got up with a jerk and started to cry. Savitramma wondered what made the baby cry. Meanwhile, the friend came back to the door and called for Savitramma again. Savitramma kept going back and forth with the pot in hand, carrying on a conversation. Satyanarayana would stop crying when she went to the door, but as soon as she entered the house with the water pot, he would start bawling out again. This happened repeatedly, and whenever Savitramma walked in with the water pot, the baby would cry uncontrollably. Savitramma got frightened. She called her daughter to come in and see if there was something wrong with the baby.
Puttu, I want you to come and see what is wrong with this baby. Kid's crying. He keeps crying and won't stop. Come and see what is wrong with our baby.
When Jayalakshmi came in, the baby stopped crying. Savitramma went in with the pot and the baby started to cry again. Jayalakshmi checked all the blankets to see if there were any insects crawling. She asked her mother to describe in detail what had happened. Suddenly she got an idea.
Amma, why don't we try this? Why don't you carry that pot and come walking this way?
Jayalakshmi asked her mother to walk in with the pot of water. The baby cried.
Stop!
And the baby stopped crying.
Let's do this again.
She repeated this process a few times, and her face lit up with a glorious smile. Jayalakshmi said,
Amma, this is not an ordinary child. He is a Nadopasaka. See, the sound that is coming out of the pot of water is a little out of tune. He is not able to tolerate that disharmony, and that is the reason he is crying. He will be a great Nada Yogi in the future. This son of mine is going to enchant people all over the world with waves of Nada by God's grace.
When the baby started to crawl, the family had to keep everything out of his reach. The house was on the main road and was frequented by farmers with plows and bullock carts. The entire family had to be vigilant to see that he did not crawl out onto the main street and get in danger. Satyanarayana would crawl towards the water pots in the backyard and get soaked. Jayalakshmi would worry.
As it is, he is so skinny. I don't want him to catch a cold.
And tried to stop him from going into the backyard. The only way that Jayalakshmi found to keep her baby out of trouble was by taking him on her lap and singing devotional songs to him. Satyanarayana would listen to her with rapt attention with wide open eyes. Soon Satyanarayana started to walk. He managed to find his way to the temple next door. He enjoyed going there to receive prasadam. He realized soon that the ringing of the bell at the temple was a sign that the puja was completed and the priest was going to give prasadam. Jayalakshmi had another fear about her son's adventures. He learned to enter into the cowshed and play with the cows and the calves. He would even run in between the legs of the cows, but the animals never hurt him.
Thank God, these cows are really gentle. Because they are indeed Gomatas, my baby is saved and not hurt by the cows.
In course of time, Satyanarayana started to talk. It was so beautiful to hear the baby's voice. He would insist that everyone listen to him when he was talking, and he did not let others talk to each other while he was engaged in a conversation. If his mother ever tried to talk to his dad, when he was saying something, he would climb up onto his dad's lap, hold his chin, turn his face towards him, and order him to keep quiet and listen.
Daddy, Daddy, Daddy.
As he grew a little older, Jayalakshmi cut down on her singing and started to tell him little stories. She would carry him upstairs to the terrace, show him the moon, and tell him stories while feeding at the same time.
See, my baby, this moon was so small 10 days ago, and today see how big he has grown. You know why he has grown so big? The gods in heaven have given him Amrita. He has eaten all of that Amrita and he has grown so strong. Do you know what he is going to do in the next few days? He is going to give away that Amrita to all the herbs, trees and creepers, and he is going to get smaller day by day. That's the reason why I want you to learn the same good habit from the moon. You should eat well now. Tomorrow when you grow up, you will be able to feed so many others. Will you eat then like a good boy?
This way she not only made him eat well, but also introduced him to philosophy. Later on she sang the same stories in Kannada, but set them to melodious ragas. Satyanarayana liked in particular the song that she would sing in the raga Shivaranjani. Jayalakshmi must have told him a few hundred stories, and she sang as many songs to him. At times, she sang hymns composed by Adi Shankara. It is remarkable that Jayalakshmi made certain that there were no witnesses for the lessons that she taught to Satyanarayana since his infancy. When Satyanarayana was 4 years old, his mother gave birth to a daughter, Varalakshmi. Aunt Venkamma came to assist. When Aunt Venkamma was around, Jayalakshmi continued her storytelling to her son, and Venkamma never interfered and went on with her household chores without disturbing the two. On occasions when Jayalakshmi found it difficult to manage with the two small kids, Savitramma would come from Mekedatu and take Satyanarayana back with her. Satyanarayana would go to Mekedatu and recollect the stories told by his mother. Gradually he became mischievous. In the meantime, his mother gave birth to another daughter, Saraswati. With this, Jayalakshmi's household chores increased and she was kept very busy. On top of it, Shastri started to conduct more japas at home. Jayalakshmi then started to change her method of teaching her son. She introduced little epithets, doctrines of philosophy that she would teach instead of storytelling. She would make a brief statement, but it would take hours for Satyanarayana to analyze and understand what she said. It was an unwritten law between the two that no third party should listen to the stories told by Jayalakshmi. Also, it should remain a secret that Satyanarayana was meditating, contemplating, and analyzing the philosophical content of the stories that Jayalakshmi told him. God knows how she managed to make her son follow this Asidhara vratam.